Everything is not what it seems when you can have what you want by the simplest of means. But be careful not to mess with the balance of things, because everything is not what it seems. Now, if any of you had a childhood, you would know that these terribly sung lyrics are from the Disney show Wizards of Waverly Place. And if you listen to the lyrics, you hear the warning, be careful not to mess with the balance of things, because everything is not what it seems. Everything is not what it seems. There are a lot of things in life that appear different than they are in reality. You may think that one of your classmates is paying really close attention to a lesson, but that hyper-focused look is thinking about what they're eating for lunch. You can believe that person in the car waving you across the street as being nice, but I can tell you firsthand that the words coming out of their mouth are not so nice. But one of the biggest illusions out there has to do with the seemingly bloodthirsty killers of the ocean, sharks. And with another movie having been released about a giant killer shark, let me clear the air. Sharks are not dangerous creatures. When most people envision sharks, they think about Jaws or the tragic story of Bethany Hamilton. They think of a gaping mouth with rows of razor-sharp teeth shooting from a dark blue abyss, and they think about blood in the water. Most people have been raised this way, and right now I will show you how the majority of you have been viewing these beautiful creatures the wrong way. Sharks are not the killers they're made out to be. As I said, everything is not what it seems. So first, let's dive into the history of sharks and examine how they've actually shaped and helped our world, as well as their behavior towards humans. Then let's go deeper and get a better picture of how those above the surface impact sharks every single day. Then we're going to make a quick ascent to the surface, and I'm going to show you the reality that sharks face. Finally, we're going to look at solutions to the issues threatening the very existence of sharks. So, going into the history of sharks, these guys have been around for 450 million years. They predate the dinosaurs by 150 million years, which is crazy because we're actually alive at the same time as prehistoric creatures. And naturally, as a result of being so old and surviving several extinction-level events, sharks have evolved into the creatures that we know today, keeping a balance and providing a framework for all life in the ocean as a result of their presence in it for so long. And contrary to popular belief, the ocean actually needs sharks to healthily function. This is because sharks are what you call a keystone species, which according to National Geographic is defined as animals that the ecosystem largely depends on, and would be catastrophically changed or cease to exist altogether should that animal be removed. In the case of sharks, Oceana explains that due to their being in the entire ocean, their elimination would be disastrous to the entirety of the ocean. This can be seen by taking a basic food chain with any given shark at the top. They will eat, say, a barracuda, who eat plankton feeders, which, as their name implies, feed on microscopic phytoplankton. With the removal of sharks, there would be an overflow of these plankton feeders, consuming an overabundance of phytoplankton, which is stated by the National Ocean Service provides up to 80% of the oxygen that we breathe. This shows that sharks are essential to not only life in the ocean, but also life above the surface. And that's why we must be careful not to mess with the balance of things. Because to the average eye, it wouldn't seem like sharks have shaped the oceans for the better, but they have, bringing adaptations like camouflage that fish have as a result of protecting themselves from predators. And fun fact, humans don't taste good to sharks, which is why in the rare case someone is killed by a shark, it's because of blood loss, not by getting eaten. The shark bites, realizes they're not food, and leaves. And according to National Geographic, sharks kill about 5 people every year. And every death is tragic, but compare that to the 22,000 people killed annually from illegal drugs, and that number seems much smaller. What's crazy is people choose to partake in that, knowing the dangers, and the effort to wipe out sharks has been a lot more successful than the effort to wipe out drugs. People make sharks out to be monsters, deeming them mindless killers. However, according to the Marine Journal, 150 million sharks are killed every year by us. That's approximately 270,000 sharks every day, 11,000 every hour, and by the time I finish speaking here, almost 2,000 sharks will have been slaughtered. According to late biologist and shark conservationist Rob Stewart, shark populations on the whole are down 90%, and for some specific shark species, the number is much higher. Forbes News included that if you remove one species, consequences will ripple through entire ecosystems. And right now we're removing the most important predator that this planet has. Most of this is done through the inhumane practice known as shark finning, in which a shark is brought onto a ship, its fins are cut off, and the shark is thrown back over the side still alive because boats don't want to carry the extra weight heaving bodies back to shore. And against what many think, this action doesn't save the shark. In fact, it's the opposite. The result is this, and be warned because it isn't pretty. The shark, unable to swim and therefore unable to breathe, slowly sinks to the bottom, where it is left to die a slow death, being either suffocation, starvation, or being eaten alive by other animals. This is humans at work, because through this devastating practice, shark populations are being decimated worldwide. This is mostly done in order to satisfy a crave for shark fin soup, which is considered a delicacy in many Asian countries despite its high mercury levels. And despite being banned in many countries, in the documentary Shark Water, when people ask why finning is okay, they justify themselves claiming that sharks are bloodthirsty killers and scourge of the ocean. But I've just proven that's not true. You're more likely to be killed by a pig, a coconut falling on your head, or a vending machine, which we have inside of schools. Talking about a double standard, it was stated by the World Atlas that 25,000 people are killed each year by dogs, which according to the Washington Post live in an average of 48% of people's homes. Congratulations. By using the logic of shark fishers and most people when regarding sharks, almost half the people in this room are living with a killer, or multiple in some cases. But not all dogs are killers. Why are sharks any different? In addition, of the 150 million sharks killed annually, scientists claim they can only account for 70 million of those sharks. What happens to the rest? Well, you have to remember that everything is not always as it seems. Due to its high demand, shark fins themselves are very valuable. According to the Smithsonian, they are worth up to $500 a pound, and shark meat turns up in more than you would think. According to Dr. Diego Cardeñosa of Stony Brook University, traces of shark meat can be found in 1/3 of dog foods and in many grocery stores as well. According to Kaiko Conservation, shark meat is actually being renamed and fed back to us under many other names like grayfish, flake, and even imitation crab, so we don't know we're eating shark. Within the award-winning documentary Shark Water Extinction, the group can be seen going into Miami grocery stores and listing different shark meat species being sold, some even being endangered and high in mercury levels, making them toxic. In addition, the documentary notes the shark liver oil squalene is also found in many cosmetic products, especially lipstick. So if your products contain any of these names, it is as a result of this devastating practice. Today we've learned the harsh reality sharks face, as well as the reality we face if we don't make changes to save them. But what can we do? Firstly, we must know what we're putting inside of our bodies. Pay attention to the ingredients in your food and products. If products containing any form of shark aren't supported, the practice will slowly die out. Aside from boycotting certain products, it is essential to spread awareness about this issue, because we can't fight what we don't know is going on. When you think about these beautiful prehistoric creatures, remember we have the saying, respect your elders, for a reason. The reality is, we can create all of the horror movies about sharks we want, but the real horror film is happening right in our backyards, and they aren't the killers. Because at the end of it all, it would take sharks 20 million years for them to kill as many humans as we kill sharks in one, as Rob Stewart said. We can still have a bright future if we want it, but we are our own asteroid. Meaning while we are the root and cause of the issue, we're also the key to fixing it. We can leave this world better than we found it, but we have to want it, and we have to fight for it. Thank you.